And welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we're watching and reacting to LD Alajuelense versus CSD Xelajú MC, the CONCACAF Central American Cup 2025 final first leg in Alajuela, Costa Rica. The defending champions trying to go back-to-back as Central American champions over these next 2 weeks. What will they do? And let's see how it goes at home. And yes, there are away goals. We discussed that yesterday heavily. Alajuela, Costa Rica, where this match is being played, we are 10 minutes away from kickoff, by the words CONCACAF say. Will the defending champions hold on? Or will it be, oh, it's 79 chance of rain. Oh, okay. This could be interesting. Alajuelense versus Xelajú, the defending champions versus the challengers, versus the underdogs, versus the team. We'll see how they do. Alajuelense had a tough start to their group stage. And then they won 3 straight, won the quarterfinals against Motagua, 2-2 on aggregate with away goals, and then beat Olympia on penalties to get here to their 3rd straight final. Still as defending champions. Xelajú won every game in their group stage besides Olympia. They went 3-1. They beat Miguelito in the quarterfinals 3-2 on aggregate, and they beat Real España on penalties as well to make this final. LD Alajuelense contra CSD Xelajú MC en la Copa Central Americana de la CONCACAF final partido ida. LD Alajuelense posible tricampeón de la Copa Central Americana de la CONCACAF. Xelajú, la challenger de la Copa Central Americana. I say no. I think we have Alajuelense goes back-to-back. Alajuelense tricampeón. That's my opinion. But who knows? That's why they play the games. We'll find out over these next 2 weeks. And this time, a week from now, we'll be wearing a suit, ready for the final to play, after wearing a suit the day before. You see Liverpool get destroyed. I saw the scoreline. I didn't watch the game. With that being said, starting 11s are as follows. We have Mora in goal for Alajuelense. The back four, Fernando Piñar, Guillermo Villalobos, Alexi Gamboa, Ronald Matarrita. The midfield 2 of Celso Borges and Rashir Parkins. The midfield 3 of Hernandez, Joel Campbell, Crychel Perez. And up top we have Ronaldo Cisneros. For Xelajú in goal we have Silva. The back 3 of Ruiz, Romero, Tabalan. The midfield 2 of Jorge Aparicio and Cardona. The attacking midfield 2 of Romario de Silva and Calderon. And up top we have Diaz, Pedro Baez, and Lopez. Xelajú wearing their blue and red. Alajuelense wearing their red and black stripes. How we doing, Dillon? How we doing? Of course they will. Ain't that interesting? Teams are walking out and getting ready to go. Alajuelense trying to win their 3rd straight Central American Cup. We'll find out if they do next week, but can they build a good, what's the word? A good foundation to do that? Or will Xelajú be the first team to beat Alajuelense for this trophy? As we're waiting for the teams to walk out, my NFL pick sheet this week, because tomorrow's American Thanksgiving. They're playing 3 games, so I can't wait. I have to do it now. I wasn't live tomorrow anyway. It was just a video, so works anyway. I have the Lions over the Packers, the Cowboys over the Chiefs. I have the Bengals over the Ravens, partially because I want the Steelers to get back into 1st place, partially because I think Joe Burrow will beat the Ravens. 2 reasons. Joe Burrow's back, so that's good. I have the Eagles beating the Bears on Black Friday. Oh, they play after Mississippi State. I could watch both for the most part. Okay, that's good. For Sunday, I have the 49ers over the Cleveland Browns. I have the Jaguars over the Titans, the Colts over the Texans, the Saints over the Dolphins. I have the Falcons over the Jets. I have the Buccaneers over the Cardinals. I have the Rams over the Panthers. The Seahawks over the Vikings. The Steelers over the Bills, because the Bills actually suck this year, so that's good. I have the Chargers over the Raiders. I have the Broncos over the Commanders. And I have the Patriots over the Giants. So there you go. My Week 13 picks. There you go, if you care. Those go above the MLS brackets for now. Okay. Until tomorrow. All right. Actually, wait till Friday. The teams are shaking hands and we're getting ready to go. Polish League's underrated. They got 3 or 4 teams in the Conference League. Yeah, no, I found that out when Legia Warsaw beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, too. Legia Warsaw is a good team. Like, they're underrated. Like, I was pissed off because Chelsea looked like crap when that game happened. But you were here for that. Most of y'all were here for that. Starting 11s are as follows. Legia Warsaw is a good team. The Polish League is underrated. In goals, Mora. The back 4 of Matarita, Gamboa, Villalobos, and Pinar. Ronald Matarita, the back 4, yep. The Krejcil Perez, Parkins, Borges, Hernandez. And the front 2, Ronaldo Cisneros and Joel Campbell. So, yeah, no, Poland's an underrated league. I will have to agree with that. I do agree with that. I learned the hard way. Fernando Hernandez from Mexico is the center ref in this match. All Mexican crew except for Garcia, the Salvadoran, at least on the pitch. Let's see who the VAR referee are. Starting the VAR referees, Oscar Macias from Mexico, Enrique Santander from Mexico. So all Mexican crew except for the one Salvadoran ref. That's something. Xelajú in goal is Silva. Tabalan, Ruiz, Romero, Calderon. The midfield 4, Da Silva, Aparicio, Cardona, and Diaz, and up top Baez and Lopez for Xelajú. 90 minutes, 180 minutes left in this tie. There are away goals that definitely can make things. Xelajú starts scoring. That's going to make this tougher. Alajuelense, let's see how they do. Back to back to back. I think they've won all 3. If they win this 3rd trophy, I think every time Lucas Podolski's playing in that league. He's still kicking. Hey, I mean, might as well, I guess. I think every time Alajuelense's won this trophy, they've won it with a different coach, if I'm correct. They have not had the same coach in any of these 3 runs. I don't think so. I think 23 was Karavich, 24 was Guimarães, and now we have coaching them coaching Alajuelense now is Oscar Ramirez. So there you go. And we're about to get kicked off here. We have playing forward. We're off. 0-0, 0-0 esta noche. Playing forward is Alajuelense, the defending champions. Let's see what they do. Playing forward, ball crossed in, headed away. Oh. Forgot about Rumble, I could say that much. All right. Was it the guy who, let me guess, that speech was said by the guy who led Germany during World War II? So we don't, so the algorithm doesn't get me in trouble for saying his name. With that being said, two minutes in, 0-0, 0-0. Two minutes in, 0-0, throw in for Xelajú. That is true. He was very respectful to Jesse Owens, yes. Weirdly enough. That is true. But yeah, I think Alajuelense won every trophy with a different coach in this tournament. Yeah. That's kind of crazy. Playing forward. Here we go. Historical list of coaches. Yep. Karavich, Guimaraes, Ramirez. Yep. Won a CONCACAF League with Karavich too, I think, because he came back. Excuse me. 0-0, 0-0. That's out for a throw-in for Xelajú. Very even game so far. Alajuelense is only good. The Central American Cup, Herediano better. Oh, you're going to piss off the Costa Rican fans. I mean, yeah, Herediano has upset teams before in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. In either, like, before and after the rebrand. Yeah, that is true. Alajuelense's won CONCACAF leagues before as well, though. 2020, to be precise. Or won, I should say. The only team who won multiple CONCACAF leagues from 17 to 23 or 22 was Olympia. Which, I mean, you could arguably say the Central American Cup pretty much is the CONCACAF league at this point. save for the Canadian teams being pulled and the Caribbean teams putting their own tournament. So Alajuelense's won multiple as well. So at this point, if you want to just put them together, I mean, a Caribbean team never won the CONCACAF League, so, or even made the final, I don't think. Santos Aguapoles versus Olympia, Herediano versus Saprissa. Over the top, Saprissa won. Over Motagua. Saprissa, Alajuelense, Olympia, or we have Motagua, Comunicaciones, and then Alajuelense, Olympia, and then Alajuelense, Esteli, Alajuelense, Esteli, Alajuelense, Xelajú, yeah. So, yeah, no. I don't even think the Caribbean team made the final of the CONCACAF League when they were put together. Defense Force won twice. I'm talking about the CONCACAF League that became the Central American Cup. I'm talking about the second-tier competition that pretty much got turned to the Central American Cup, not the Champions Cup. Yes, Defense Force won the Champions Cup twice. I'm talking about the second-tier competition that got started in 2017, that got ended in 22, and basically reworked in 23 to the Central American Cup. That's what I was talking about. But okay. Played through. But saved. Modern era. Champs Cup better anyway. I know, I'm just saying Alajuelense's won 4 CONCACAF leagues / Central American Cups. Olympia's won 2. Comunicaciones has won 1. Saprissa's won 1. Well, it's true. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Herediano's won 1. Yep, there we go. 9. So the bulk of them have been won by Alajuelense. Well, hold on, they haven't won it yet. It's either Xelajú or Alajuelense. That's my bad. They have 3. They could have 4. My bad. I think they're going to have 4 by the end of next week, or by this time next week, or a little bit later than this time next week. But Costa Rica window, should Navas retire? He's going to have to retire at this point. He's not going to make it to another World Cup. Not saying that Costa Rica won't make a World Cup. I'm saying that he's too old. 6. Oh, wait, they did lose to Haiti. 4. 4. Missing the World Cup. It was always going to be tough for them. They could have made the World Cup on the final day if they just tried to win the game. Losing Alonso Martinez was a hell of a blow, though. I'm surprised NYCFC is still going as well. I mean, it's funny. So it proves to me that I guess it ain't that much of a blow. Because look at NYCFC. Alonso Martinez got injured, and Andres Pereira, and NYCFC are still playing MLS football this weekend. Alonso Martinez gets hurt, and Costa Rica doesn't make the World Cup. All they had to do was win. Or at least to do their part, all they had to do was win. I think Haiti would have to lose. For their case, I think Haiti had to lose. But at least to make, if they won, I think they would have made the playoff because they actually would have had more goals scored than Suriname. So actually, it's a good thing that it was a draw for Suriname. That's why Honduras didn't make the playoff. Because Suriname had more goals scored thanks to that El Salvador game. The second to last game of the window. But after being in the catbird seat, it sucks that basically an own goal saved your ass. And who's to say what they do in March, but either way. Do I blame them? Not exactly. I don't blame them. I mean, why? If that was the best thing you've ever seen your country do, why wouldn't you live in the past? Like, you'd want to build on it, but it was an underdog story. Now, Morocco, on the other hand, you could say, oh, that's penalty for Alajuelense. Penalty para Alajuelense. Hernandez goes down. Anthony Hernandez goes down, and I don't see that being overturned. Tackled, yep. No ball, all leg, that's a penalty. And he got contacted. I don't see that being overturned. Yep, penalty. Penalty. Don't see that being overturned. But how we doing, Henry? But again, you look at Morocco, and they had a similar Costa Rica-like run in 22. Morocco's still been building on that, though. Morocco is even better than they were 4 years ago, give or take. Give or take. By the time, before you know it, we will be talking about them 4 years ago. Either way, Morocco's youth has been growing. Their main team has been growing. I'm sure they're going to win the AFCON. I'm saying they will, especially right before a World Cup, basically 6 months. Yeah, they're going to win the AFCON. And yes, I'll do the opening game if you didn't listen to me the first time. That'll be the season finale of this RSR season, the opening game of the AFCON. Morocco. And if I have the jersey, I have the jersey. Well, no, I was wearing the polo shirt anyway. My bad. We'll save the jersey for the World Cup or the knockout stage. Joel Campbell, because I will do the knockout stage in January. But Joel Campbell to take the penalty to put Alajuelense ahead. Joel Campbell. Shot. Saved by the keeper. Saved by the Xelajú keeper, and it's a corner. Honestly, I was planning on it, but okay. I was planning on ordering a lot of stuff for myself that are early Christmas presents that I'll buy myself. And I was just going to post them on Christmas with my actual Christmas presents, but it makes me look a little bit better. Either way, even if I take a selfie with it or put it on during the channel. Either way, shot, headed over the bar in another corner for Alajuelense. But I was planning on it. I was thinking, here's what I was thinking about doing for myself. The Blue Jays World Series jerseys are back. I was going to get one of those, whether it be Vladdy or George, savior of the Blue Jays. Either or. If I can't get a Vladdy, I'll get a George. George, savior of the Blue Jays. Blue Jays World Series hat and a postseason hat, if I can. The American League champion shirt, a Toronto Raptors current jersey, because I need one with the actual chevron on it, and a Morocco jersey. Well, oh, and yeah, Trey Savage City Connect jersey. Don't forget that. As I need a Trey Savage jersey, and I was going to buy a World Champions Gold jersey with him on it, but since we didn't win the World Series, I need a City Connect, so Savage. So Trey Savage City Connect jersey, George Springer or Vladdy Blue Jays World Series patch home jersey, whoever I can get. If I can't get a Vladdy in adult small, I'll get a George, savior of the Blue Jays. So, either or. A couple of hats. Morocco jersey. Oh, Ferrari shirt. Scuderia Ferrari shirt, too. I think I could do all that off of Fanatics on the same. Cross in, blocked away. Oh, Xelajú almost got one against the run of play. Still 0-0. Settle a settle. Playing forward, that's going to get back to their goalie. So, Morocco, Jays, hat, shirt. Raptors, Scuderia, Ferrari. Just because I'm rooting for Lando doesn't mean I'm still a Ferrari fan first, but they can't win shit. So right now, so it's all about Lando. Still love Lando, but whatever. Either way, Dillon Cease 7-year contract for the Blue Jays. I'm very happy. The Blue Jays got a good pitcher. I did not expect them to get Dillon Cease. I didn't expect that at all. 7 years, 200-something million, deferrals on the contract. They still have the money for Bo Bichette. The Jays are going back to the World Series. We're going back to the World Series. I don't see anybody else in the AL beating the Blue Jays. Y'all awoke a beast. Y'all awoke a beast. Rogers is actually not getting cucked by these free agents. We're going to go back to the World Series. Y'all awoken a beast. Cease, Savage, Gausman, Barrios, and Bieber. Holy Lord. And it also protects us from Gausman and Bieber and Barrios leaving in 27 if they do, or the end of 26 into 27. So Savage and Cease is a good 1-2 if those three leave, or any of those three leave. You good, Dillon? Brought down, cleared away. Alajuelense has a chance, blocked away for a corner. Blue Jays are going back to the World Series. It's funny how a lot of my favorite teams this year have not supposed to be good, but they're good. It's funny. It's kind of funny how that's like a pattern that's kind of repeated. The Blue Jays, nobody thought they'd be the AL East champions. Nobody thought they'd be the American League champions. Nobody thought they'd be 2 outs away from a World Series and inches away, and they were. Nobody thought the Patriots would be the best team in the AFC. Nobody thought the Raptors would actually be good. Nobody thought the Raptors would be top 2 in the East and going to the NBA Cup knockout stage. Nobody thought that. Yeah. So you believe I'm a jinx too. I don't think I could jinx them, but okay. Dude, I said they'd win the World Series and they were 2 outs away. They should have won it, frankly. I don't think I jinxed the Jays. I just think what makes me look like a jinx is I root for a shitty football team that only a certain somebody could win with. And I put too much faith in them bastards. Like that certain somebody is the one who's coaching them. Yeah, it's painful, I know. And the Leafs are the Leafs, so that takes care of that. The Leafs are the Leafs. That takes care of that. The Raptors, I haven't really been able to make big declarations about them, but I thought they'd win the championship in 2019. They did that. The Patriots are the Patriots until they weren't. The Steelers are mediocre. Let's be real. Mississippi State's, I overrate them sons of bitches. Let's be real. When it comes to Mississippi State, and Canada might not be as good as I think they are. So that one's on me. Especially when games matter. When they play teams that are better than them, they always do well. When they play teams that are worse than them and they should beat, they suck for some reason. I don't understand it. They're bipolar as all hell. Alajuelense playing forward. So, yeah, things make me look like a jinx, but I think it's circumstantial at best. Didn't say that. Fair enough. I don't make turkey. You know what? I'm going to go there. Happy American Thanksgiving. I don't make turkey. See, here's my thoughts about turkey. I'm going to act like this is a press conference. Here's my thoughts about turkey. I think unless you smoke a turkey, it's bland. There's no taste to it. And especially since my family makes dressing, cornbread dressing, instead of stuffing the turkey, that probably doesn't help either. But for me, if you fry, we've never fried a turkey before, but that's just honestly, it might taste better that way. Wait, no. No, actually, we did an indoor fry once, which there was this indoor Panasonic fryer or whatever that had like a lid to it. It wasn't like that stopped the splash from happening. It was a little bit better, but I don't like really charred skin or anything that's really charred that seems like damn near burnt, and that's where it got to. So the meat was somewhat moist. But again, the best way to do a turkey is a smoker, in my opinion. Frying is hit or miss at first. It's also very dangerous, especially if you do it outside in an open pot. I guess if you do it one of those big industrial fryers that have a lid, like we did, indoors for some. I think it was indoors. It was the same year my pop died on Thanksgiving morning. But either way, there's a little bit of lore there. Either way, I'm not telling that story. It sounds like it sounds. It sounds like it sounds. It sounds like it sounds. There's nothing special to that story. It sounds like it sounds. Either way. But because it had a lid, there was no splash. Either way. The best way to make a turkey is a smoker, and we don't have a smoker. And you can't really grill a turkey, and you'd have to have a real grill to do a beer can turkey, a beer can chicken, which I'd like to do for the holidays, I guess. But I'd rather have a Blackstone than an actual grated charcoal or propane grill, which I'd prefer charcoal, but that's neither here nor there. And I'm not buying a big green egg just to do a beer can turkey or chicken. You're out of your mind. Either way, because you have to have the lid and all that. It's either way. But again, I think there's only one way to have a good turkey. It's a smoker, and we don't have a smoker. So I prefer for holidays either a bacon wrapped pork loin, a rib roast, which is basically a rack of steaks, which I think that's what we're doing for Christmas, or a seafood bowl, crab, mussels. I don't really eat the shrimp, corn, and red potatoes in there, but shrimp, crab and mussels is really what I eat out of it. Maybe some corn, Cheddar Bay biscuits with some potato salad. That's good too. But I'm not really a turkey guy, because in the oven it's absolutely bland, especially if you don't stuff it. And we make dressing. We don't stuff the turkey. So frying is hit or miss. And if you do it openly in the outdoors with no lid, it's dangerous. You can't really grill a turkey, whether you grill it or you do a beer can. You can't really do that in the oven, can you? Either way, especially if you have a Blackstone, because there's no lid to that. And I prefer having a Blackstone, so we don't have a smoker, and the smoker is probably the best way to do it. That smoker turkey was delicious. Then our smoker conked out after like 2 holiday seasons. So yeah, I'll just do the frickin' bacon wrapped pork loin, and it's easier. It doesn't take as long. At least the bacon wrapped pork loin itself. So do that what you will. So that's the Pirates' thoughts on Thanksgiving turkeys. The Cardinals suck ass. I couldn't care less. Cardinals should blow it up. But the bird's the word. Oh. Well, good for them. It's a Champions League night. Hell no. Roasted duck? You're out of your mind. Same thing applies, though, I'm sure. Same thing applies with roasted duck and chicken. Well, same thing sort of applies, except they're smaller birds. Same thing sort of applies. I'm not 0-0. Same thing sort of applies. Same thing sort of applies. Corner for Alajuelense. Nope, throw in. Still a very tight game. Alajuelense have had some good moments. Xelajú have had some good moments, but it's still a tie. Away goals do matter. Europa League predictions? I have no clue. I have zero damn clue. Let me go look at FontMob and see where things are. I have zero damn clue. Ugh. I'm going to be real. I have zero damn clue. Oh. Should I? Oh, we have some Europa League football tomorrow. You know what? Dinamo Zagreb is playing Lille. Betis is playing Utrecht. Rangers is playing Braga. Okay. You want me to pick the winner? Let's look at the table. Midtjylland is number 1. Villa's number 6. Real Betis is 9th. Honestly, Celtics got some problems, but they're getting Wilfried Nancy. You know what? I'm going to go there. No, I'm not. It'd be awesome, but I'm not going there. What if Wilfried Nancy got Celtic into the knockout phase of the Europa League and he won the Europa League? Columbus fans would lose their shit. It'd be absolutely hilarious. And also a good look for MLS as well. Because, yes, Wilfried Nancy's about to be Celtic's next manager. That's true. Brought down. Joel Campbell loses the ball. They'll be cleared away by Xelajú. I'm sure they'll be better with Wilfried Nancy. I'm sure. Or it could just turn out to be like Anselmi at Porto, which was absolutely horrible. I say he does a little bit better, but that's just my opinion. But overall, my prediction for the winner, my actual prediction for the Europa League winner, Aston Villa, because their manager is still Unai Emery. And we know how good Unai Emery is at winning Europa Leagues. He's very good at it. Not good enough to win Arsenal one, but he's good enough at it to win multiple in his career. I think he's good enough to win one for Aston Villa, though. Yeah, that was a shot at Arsenal. Yep, it was. Unai Emery was good enough to get them to a final, but he wasn't good enough to overcome Arsenal bottling bullshit. Aston Villa doesn't have that. Unai Emery wins another Europa League, but this time with Villa. For Ozzy Osbourne. For Ozzy Osbourne, yes. Anselmi, he failed at Porto. That was horrible. That was a clown show. And now Porto's 14th in the Europa League with the manager of... Their manager is Farioli. Ain't that some? Arsenal saw Tottenham win a Europa League. That's true, they did. What a failure. Arsenal got Baku'd. Shot. What a save by the keeper. Another shot. Here's a chance. Penalty. Penalty for Alajuelense. They get another penalty. Another penalty for Alajuelense. Penalty para Alajuelense. Can they score this time? But yeah, I say Villa's going to win the Europa League because that is true. And Chelsea beat Arsenal for one of those European trophies. Also, Chelsea's won the Club World Cup. So, you know. Penalty for Alajuelense. This time it's Celso Borges. Chicho Arango might go to Pumas. Celso Borges to give Alajuelense the lead. It didn't go well for Campbell. They got Celso Borges doing it this time. Their captain. Toluca leads Juarez. I'm not surprised. Celso Borges, shot, saved. Oh my God. Rebound, header. 2 penalty saves by Xelajú. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, if Alajuelense lose this tie by 2 goals, I think they know exactly where they're going to look and be like, shit, we screwed this up. Oh my God. Oh my God. Man of the match so far, Silva. And I don't think they will. Boom, boom, boom. 2 saves. Playing forward, shot off the post. That's interesting. Finalists for the Atlanta United managerial job included Peter Vermees and Giovanni Savarese. That's interesting. Free kick for Alajuelense. Two big saves by Xelajú. Why not? That makes no sense. Playing forward. Alajuelense. Oh my God. They are really, I feel like they're kind of choking right now. I won't lie. They haven't allowed a goal yet, but a 0-0 draw ain't the best for Alajuelense. I'll tell you that much. Interesting. Suit day next week. Oh my Lord, playing forward. Good tackle. I feel like they're kind of choking. I won't lie. Xelajú. Will Ronald Matarrita make a big mistake? It feels like that's the type of game we're watching. It feels like we're watching a similar type of ending. I won't say ending, but a type of a Matarrita F's it up game like the 2019 Eastern Conference semifinals. Which that was probably one of the best of those games. I'm not going to lie, but I'm biased. That was an amazing game. Streets won't forget. Streets won't forget. Streets won't forget. Classic. 2019 Eastern Conference semifinals. What a classic. What a classic. What a classic. See what I mean by sometimes you have to live in the past, son? There you go. Well, unless the team calls the pirate, then we don't have to live in the past. But if they don't do that, I will have to live in the past. Either way. Who's a bigger club, Arsenal or Ajax? Oh. The moneymaker, the bigger moneymaker is Arsenal. The more successful club is Ajax, historically. Ajax is a more successful club, especially outside of their domestic country, than Arsenal. Arsenal's a bigger moneymaker, a bigger name, but I honestly say historically Ajax is the more historical club, the bigger club, history-wise, trophies-wise. Money-making-wise, no, they're not. Name-wise, they're not, unless you're a football nerd like me or any of us. Arsenal's the bigger name and the bigger moneymaker. Ajax is the bigger club by their history. That's just my opinion, though. There's like two different answers to that question. Corner for Xelajú. Header, nobody there. Goes all the way back to the top of the box. Xelajú chips it through. Header, out for a goal kick. 38th minute. So do with that what you will. If the playoffs started today, the Steelers wouldn't even be in the playoffs. Nice. Wow. Playing forward, cleared away. Huh. Yeah, Daniel is a Belizean, has Belizean blood. He has Belizean ancestry, yeah. You said it before. Corner for Alajuelense, 39th minute. Remember when I said I wish the CPL team could replace the Belizean team for actual better matches in the Central American Cup? And I said, sorry, Daniel, but it's just true. I think Canadian teams probably deserve to be better or deserve to be at this tournament more in the Central American Cup. You didn't remember when I did that? I didn't just shout him out for no reason. I didn't say his name for no reason. Free kick for Xelajú. Because, I mean, if you watch the Central American Cup, the Belizean teams just keep doing shittily. I know a Canadian team could do better than that. Because here's the problem, again, here's the problem with the Central American Cup, or the fact that the Leagues Cup doesn't allow the CPL to play the Leagues Cup. There is no home for a regional championship for the CPL. That's the problem. Like, in theory, they should be able to play in the Leagues Cup, but I feel like they should have a summer regional championship just like everybody else does. And I feel like the Caribbean Cup would just be too easy. They'll never be in the Leagues Cup. They were in the CONCACAF League for a while, which pretty much became the Central American Cup. So why not let the CPL Cup champion come back to the Central American Cup? I feel like they could win it, especially if it's Forge. Will Forge make a deep run in the Champions Cup? Probably not, but let's see who they get drawn with. Playing Ford. Playing Ford Xelajú, 41st minute. I mean, I would probably assume no. I'd love for them to, but what is a deep run? When it's a 5-round tournament, all knockout, what is a deep run? Quarterfinals? It's possible. It's possible. Ooh, Wolves. I think Ipswich has more history. I think Sunderland is a big club that's finally getting back to where they should. And Aston Villa is a very big club that's getting back to where they should. So, yeah, Wolves. The only reason Wolves had really big sustained success over the past decade was over half decade, was the fact that the Portuguese, it was basically the mini Portuguese national team. So, quarterfinals, okay. I could see Forge if they got a good draw. I could see Forge if they got a good draw making the quarterfinals. Would it be the most likely situation? No. Could they make the quarterfinals? Yeah, they could if they got a good draw. Remember, they'd have to win the prelim round, the round of 16, just to make the quarterfinals. They have to win 2 rounds to make the quarterfinals. But if they got a good draw, especially in the prelim round, I like their chances. I didn't say it'd be easy. Marty coaching and teaching Florian Zekai. Got a whiteboard. Corner for Alajuelense. I didn't say it'd be easy, but I think it can happen. Anything for quarterfinals? No. No. It might be one of the first signs of the apocalypse if Forge makes the semifinals or further in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Not that I'd be mad about it, but fun fact about Sunderland, they're the English team with the most Trinidad players once they had 4 Trinidad nationals in 2007. Cross-in, header, Dwight York, Stern John, Kenwyn Jones, and Carlos Edwards. Nice. I can see why you didn't say Sunderland was the smallest team, even though I don't think they are either. Playing Ford. Oh! Man, could that have been third penalty? Belize Les made the Gold Cup 2010-2012 range. We actually had a chance to make it to the last Gold Cup. All we had to do was beat Guyana. We would have qualified. We lost 2-0 in Guyana. Yeah, and then when you played the Gold Cup prelims, you got your shit rocked by Costa Rica. The Gold Cup prelims. I was live for one of those. You got your shit rocked by Costa Rica. That was ugly. I actually felt sorry for y'all. Like, I remember being live for that one of those Belize Costa Rica games. I was like, damn. They knocked y'all asses out. It wasn't even funny. Here's a chance, and that's gonna go out. Man, I thought he was gonna get to that ball without the keeper offside anyway. Okay. 0-0, 1 minute to go before stoppage time. Very, I wouldn't say boring first half, but no goals. But Alajuelense had some really good chances. They missed 2 penalties. Alajuelense seems like they're choking a little bit. I won't lie. A 0-0 draw in Guatemala for the second leg. I mean, I'm not complaining that it's going this way because that means me wearing the suit ain't useless because people be watching the final and the stream for it. Just like how the final's pretty close. Just like how the Caribbean final's pretty close. The third place game isn't, but I'm live for both. I'll be wearing partial suit, like the shirt, the tie, and the pants, 3 minutes of stoppage time during the third place game. Then I'll put on the suit jacket for the final. 3 minutes of stoppage time. But at least the third. That was 2007 after the World Cup. Sunderland was under Roy Keane, York's former captain. Yep. Saved. So you're saying Dwight York might have put in a good word for the other guys? Is that what you're saying? I'm surprised Dwight didn't put in a good word for Shaka. But Shaka Hislop had a pretty good career too, to be real. Ball crossed in. And I will say, I love listening to Shaka speak. Like on Football Americas, like I will say, dude's got an amazing accent. Like, majestic, I won't even lie. Shaka Hislop has an amazing accent. It's just an absolute amazing thing to listen to. I'd listen to him read an audiobook. Newcastle at the time where they nearly won the Prem, greatest keeper in Caribbean all time. Well, what about Andre Blake, though? Leafs are a minute away from going to the shootout against the Columbus Blue Jackets in overtime in Columbus. Nearly won the Prem. Okay. Yeah, I said he had a good career, though. Andre Blake's an amazing goalkeeper. Clean sheet in the World Cup, Sweden prime Zlatan, Andre Blake in MLS. Well, that's more because of the fact Jamaica is a dysfunctional country who hasn't really started becoming that good until recently. You do realize you have to be in the top 50 of FIFA rankings to get an easier chance to getting a European passport to play in Europe. You do realize that, right? And Jamaica never has been that good. Even when they've been good, they've never really been that good. And then by the time they got there, 0-0 at the half. Settle medio tiempo. I think Andre Blake, his problem is that he comes from a country where it's hard to get a European passport. And he's actually from Jamaica. It's not like he's from England with Jamaican blood. He's actually from Jamaica. That's also a problem for him. That's also a problem for Andre Blake. He can't be in Europe because he's actually from Jamaica. He's not an English player who has Jamaican blood who can't play for England, so they play for Jamaica. He's not one of those guys. He's actually from Jamaica, which also hurts him. He probably would have been better off if he was an English diaspora player who couldn't play for England. But because he's actually Jamaican from the island, again, Shaka had an amazing career, but I feel like Andre Blake, part of the reason why he hasn't had the career he should have had and could have had is because Jamaica is a dysfunctional JFF. The federation's dysfunctional. They're not good enough in the FIFA rankings to get him that move because he's actually from Jamaica instead of an English player who chose to play for Jamaica because he can't play for England. He's screwed by the place he was actually born. And the fact they can't get high enough in the FIFA rankings to make it easy for him to get the visa, the work permit. So, and I think Andre Blake's kind of getting a bit too old now anyway, so. I agree. He should. He's that talented. And also, let's also talk about the fact that you want to say Jamaica hadn't made it far enough in tournaments with him. And Toronto won in overtime. Yes. The Leafs won in overtime. William Nylander. Let's go. Leafs won in overtime. Zach Bolduc won nothing. Well, I didn't say they couldn't make it. It's just tougher. I just said it's tougher if your nation's not top 50, which Trinidad isn't either. But he has a work permit. Okay, I don't know where I'm going with this now. Honestly, I agree. Probably Tottenham because they're better off. Trinidad ranked 99 in the world. Yeah, I don't know exactly where I'm going to go with that. Either way, okay, maybe Andre Blake isn't good enough. Or he never really got the respect. Either way. Okay, maybe he's not. Also doesn't help he's near 30. He's like, what, 28 now? Somewhere around there, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, that doesn't really. Either way. Top 5 prime goalkeepers. Petr Cech, Thibaut Courtois, even though I'm pissed off how he did Chelsea. Gianluigi Buffon. We're talking about all world. Okay. Gianluigi Buffon, Julio Cesar, and it's not exactly in order. I'm just thinking. These are my top 5. They're not exactly in order. We could do that later. Probably put Gigi Buffon, then Julio Cesar, then Courtois, then Cech. Number 5. Number 5. Number 5. Oh. Honestly, well, that you said Caribbean, not CONCACAF. Keylor Navas. Keylor Navas at his peak was a top 5 goalie. He was. I'm going to go there, Keylor Navas. I'm going to go there. Keylor Navas at his peak. 3 in a row UCLs. 2014 World Cup. Yeah, no, Keylor Navas. Raptors win 9 in a row. He's getting old, that's why. I didn't say Andre Blake. I didn't exactly say Andre Blake was better. I said he was top 2 Caribbean CONCACAF keepers. I said he deserves consideration. That's all I was saying. No, I agree. Shaka is better, but I feel like it's slight. You feel like there's more. That I did not say. That is not what I said. What I said was, wait, what about Andre Blake? As in, he deserves consideration. Top 2. They're both top 2. Caribbean keeper-wise. Then, of course, you have to throw Keylor Navas in there if you want to talk CONCACAF in general. But, then it's Keylor Navas. Now, Keylor Navas is better than Shaka Hislop. That's just facts. I said it's slight. I said Shaka's slightly better than Andre Blake. He thinks it's further than slight. There's a difference. Good. He deserves it. With that being said. But to be clear, me saying, but what about Andre Blake wasn't saying Andre was number one. It said he deserves consideration. That's where I was. Either way. With that being said, and then I defended the fact that he was in the top two at least and closer than you think. That's what I was defending. Up for debate. But either way. If you want to go full CONCACAF besides the USA and Mexico, then it's Keylor Navas. Central American plus Caribbean, then Keylor Navas. It's Keylor Navas. Prime Keylor Navas was a top 5 goalie all time. I'm going to go there. So, with that being said, we'll take a short break at half, talk about the stats, get this one going. 0-0 at the half, 0-0 middle tiempo. Alajuelense might be choking. Sit tight, be back. We're back for the stats of the half. We're back for the stats of the half. Here we go. We got 55.2% possession to 45% possession. We have 2 interceptions to 3, 2 offside to 2, 5 corners to 1, 193 pass to 164, 84% pass accuracy to 70, or 80% pass accuracy, 22 crosses to 9. We have 0 shots, or 0 goals to 0 goals, 9 shots to 7, 5 shots on goal to 2. We have 5 tackles to 4, 13 clearances to 22, 5 fouls to 6, 1 yellow card to 1, 0 red cards to 0. We have 0-0 at the half, 0-0 medio tiempo. Alajuelense, I feel like they're choking a little bit. I'm going to be honest. I feel like they needed to score some of those penalties, or one of those penalties. A 0-0 draw going away in the final match, in the second leg of the final, is not a very good place to be, so to speak. It's not some you exactly want, per se. But again, I think it's been a tight game. I think Alajuelense slightly the better team, besides the fact they haven't capitalized. Xelaju's had some good offensive moments, but they haven't capitalized either. But this definitely is not. It's a good script for a second leg of the final where I'm wearing a suit and making it useful to wearing a suit instead of wearing it for no damn reason, because the second leg has turned out to be round starts 3-0, Second leg there's a 3-0 aggregate going in, so that's fine. But for Alajuelense fans, they really need to capitalize on their chances. Xelajú, of course, could have the away go. Of course, if they score, there's away goals, and that makes things tougher, especially even away. So you got to at least, could be worse if it's a 0-0 draw, but it could be much better, frankly. Should be 2-0 Alajuelense at least. But, what can you do? So, here we go, second half. Well, that discussion made things less boring, I guess, in between. But here we go. Second half, here we go. And here we go. Second half has begun. 0-0, 0-0. And because the Raptors won tonight, they will host the NBA Cup quarterfinal. In Toronto. That's pretty good. The Bucks lost. Toronto will host the NBA Cup quarterfinal. I haven't been watching NXT, so I have no damn clue. I haven't watched NXT, so I have no damn clue. The Raptors have won, so they're 4-0. Winner's country takes the next CONCACAF playoff spot. Case of a political emergency, cough, cough, Haiti. What are you talking about, hat trick? Shot wide. Header wide. Acting like either way. So today in the group stage of the NBA Cup, there's a Friday day and that's it. Okay, so Magic play on Friday. One more day of the group stage of the NBA Cup. The quarterfinal losers will play each other if the Raptors don't make it, but they'll host one. Raptors are 4-0 in the NBA Cup group stage. Read Son's comment. My comment back. Shaka had offers from Rangers and Celtic when they were in their prime in Monaco. Well, that's pretty good. Andre Blake never could. Ain't no way don't know Shaka, ESPN pundit. I don't miss 400-point mark for Suzuki. Unless I missed a comment. That was the last ones he put out. Speaking of made-up scenarios, did you hear about Russia's rumored fake World Cup? Yeah, I heard about it. Didn't they threaten that in 22 as well? I don't know. Thank you, Shaka is the man. Definitely gives him an edge then. That's definitely, yeah. Because Andre could never. Whether Raptors, Cavaliers, Magic, Pistons, Heat, New York Bucks. Oh, they're all still alive. Okay, I get what you're saying. Magic or Pistons could get Group B. Oh, that's going to be crazy. Heat, New York, or Bucks could get Group C, and then, of course, there's a chance for a wild card. Oh, Detroit plays Orlando. Whoever wins the group. Oh. One of them could still be a wild card, though. Header. Wouldn't it be funny if the Raptors played the Orlando Magic during the NBA Cup quarterfinal, considering they're the first seed in the East? And I'm sure it's by seeding, so 1, 4, 2, and 3, I'm sure, right? And we look to be the number 1 seed unless the Magic win over the Pistons. And they're at Detroit. Okay. And nobody can get 4-0 in Group C. So it's going to be, unless the Magic win, we are going to be the number 1 seed in the East in the NBA Cup. Okay. Yeah, that happens every year. The president pardons a turkey. That's a tradition. Shot blocked away. Wonder if the turkey paid for the pardon, though. I wonder if the turkey paid Peter Thiel for the pardon. Either way. Cleveland could still be a wild card. Detroit or Orlando could still be a wild card. Anybody in Group C could still be a wild card. Whoever the wild card is, very likely will play Toronto, if it is by seeding, in the quarterfinals. Looks like it's Cleveland right now. Right now, the wild card would be Cleveland. Oklahoma City, Lakers, Portland, and Phoenix look to be the West, but there are so many teams in the West that are still alive. Maybe the East is weak. Maybe the East is weak. Ugh. Yeah, that's going to be 52 minutes. Let's see. Oh, off the elbow. That could be a handball. They've called it a handball for a penalty for Xelajú. Xelajú have a penalty off of a handball, which I don't know. The Avalanche are going to win the cup this year. Xelajú for a penalty. His damn, I don't know. Lopez to take the penalty. Could Xelajú take the away goal and score and take the lead? $52 minutes. Shot! Oh, that's in. That's a goal for Lopez. 0-1, settle uno. Xelajú opens the scoring in the cup final with a penalty. Yeah, you really wish you scored now, Alajuelense, haven't you? Wow. 1-0 Xelajú. Cheeks for the national team, but nice. Scores the goal, and they lead. Campbell and Borges both missed a penalty, and he almost popped it off the crossbar, but it's in. Lopez. Third penalty of the game. First for Xelajú, and they score. And that is a goal. 0-1 for Antonio Lopez. That's an away goal, by the way. It's not impossible for Alajuelense to overcome it, but the handball's questionable for all means. I mean, it is definitely questionable, but so be it. 53rd minute, I'd say it's questionable, but 53rd minute scores the penalty. He does somehow. Alajuelense cannot. Their goalie's the man of the match for sure. Silva's definitely the man of the match right now. Alajuelense might totally choke. Diego Campos coming on. And Salazar coming on for Alajuelense. Can they save themselves? A 1-1 draw would still be Xelajú leads with the away goal going into next week, but it could be worse. Their fan base is getting done so dirty for leg 2. Quetzal, Tenango region is like 5 hours away. No traffic from Cementos Progreso. So they're playing hours away from the region they're actually from because their stadium's not big enough. Is that what you're telling me? 55th minute. Yep, in Guatemala City, Estadio Cementos Progreso. Playing forward. Yes. I feel, well, playing forward, cleared away. The Avs and the Habs are better than the Jets and Leafs. At least the Leafs won today. I didn't say it was good enough, but it's something. That's not the National Stadium, though, right? '56 minute. Man, I can't believe Arsenal beat Bayern Munich. Jesus Christ. Huh. 57th minute. Ball crossed in. Header cleared away out for throw-in. Throw-in for Alajuelense. They're down 1. Throw. Blocked away. Out for another throw. Ball crossed in. Thankfully, there's the Raptors and footy. Yeah, because I feel the same way about the Leafs. If you told me the Raptors would be better than the Leafs, and I'm more likely to do Raptors streams at the end of December and early January than Leaf streams, I would have called you nuts. And if you told me it'd be more likely that I'd be doing Raptor streams during the playoffs in the spring than Leaf streams, again, I would have called you nuts. I wonder how good those are going to go. I feel like I should do a 9:05 game before the NBA Cup knockout stage if the Leafs make it or the Raptors make it, or do the NBA Cup quarterfinals so I can get a handle on doing a basketball game live. And the Raptors 9:05 are pretty good right now too. They're undefeated. So the 9:05 are a super team too. So maybe. And I have a 9:05 jersey and a t-shirt, so could work. With that being said, maybe do a 9:05 game to see how it works, and then which those are meaningful games because they're tip-off tournament games, but either way, yeah, I'm surprised that I've not done a basketball game live. I've only done a couple of basketball reviews when the Raptors went to the NBA Finals and all that. Never done a basketball game live, so I'll definitely have to. That seems like the hardest, too. I mean, baseball, I did live once before I did the All-Star game and the playoffs this year because I did the wild card game 1 against the Mariners for the Blue Jays. But baseball's baseball. That's not as tough. I'm wondering. You watch Guate versus Panama, right? Chilla Stadium fits more people than where that was played. Not sure about the field measurements, though. Oh, well, that's interesting. Good point. Alajuelense playing forward. I just want this to stay pretty close so I don't look stupid wearing a suit for a game nobody watched. Because Floyd is an egotistical jackass. Floyd thinks he's the greatest. No, Floyd is not the greatest. I think Floyd's a good boxer, but he is not the greatest. He is nowhere near. Just because you're undefeated don't mean shit. Floyd, the reason he's undefeated is he's a very defensive boxer, and he knew how to win on decisions. The man is not a dominant boxer, as in he doesn't knock men out. He didn't knock guys out. He won on decisions. He knew how to throw punches. He knew how to defend. He ducked people until they were too old. Pacquiao, mostly. He fought guys who probably were underdogs just because they never really boxed that much in their life. Conor McGregor, especially late on in his career. Floyd Mayweather basically set himself up to be 50-0. I'm not saying he's as obviously fake as Jake or Logan Paul, but he's definitely, he made himself into what he is. And I mean, hey, that's genius for a guy like Floyd. But no, Ali is one of the best boxers of all time, if not the best. Now, of course, Mike Tyson, Sonny Liston. Of course, you could talk about them. You could talk about Canelo, even though I don't like Canelo that much. Of course, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. Pacquiao header. Here's a chance Alajuelense loses the ball. So, I mean, there are people you could, I'd say before even Mayweather. I don't think Mayweather even deserves to be in the conversation with Ali. So do with that what you will, but yep. I don't think so. Oh. Well, we'll never know. But see, the good thing about that fight for Floyd was it didn't count in his record. Playing forward. Didn't count for his record. Yeah. Playing forward, Alajuelense. I didn't know about that. Could have sworn he was okay. So you're telling me there were Mexicans that were happy that Canelo got beat by Bud Crawford? Like, seriously, though, I still can't believe how much of a domination that fight was. I still can't believe how much of a domination that fight was. Arteta. Man, that match between Bud Crawford and Canelo was an ass kicking that I didn't even expect. But you're telling me there are Mexican fans that wanted to see Canelo get his shit rocked by Crawford and were happy that he did? I didn't expect that. Playing forward. You know what? I kind of wish that Jake Paul, like there were talks that when Gervonta Davis couldn't fight Jake Paul, Terrence Bud Crawford wanted to fight Jake Paul. I wish Bud Crawford fought him. Oh yeah, I remember. Playing forward, headed away. Like I wish. But Bud Crawford versus Jake Paul would be hilarious. I don't even think that would be a decision. I think Bud would beat his ass in 6 rounds, knock him out. I think Jake Paul would finally get humbled if it was. That's why he didn't take it. But there was discussion that when it wasn't Gervonta Davis, because Gervonta Davis is an idiot and did some dumb shit, got arrested. That's absolutely burying it. But either way, there was talks it was going to be Bud Crawford or Floyd, or they talked about a lot of people. Ali used to walk the streets of Memphis and all those bad communities, and nobody did anything to the man. He was the people's champion. Yeah. Ali was the people's champion because he was for the people. Shot! Goal! Goal for Alajuelense! Alajuelense. They tie the game. And it's Ronaldo Cisneros. Ronaldo Cisneros ties the game. 1-1. 1-1. But the thing about Ali, at least to me, Hernandez with the assist, is Muhammad Ali fought for the people. You believe that Ali was fighting for everybody, not just himself. And through the keeper's legs, and what a shot. 1-1. 1-1. Xelajú still leads the town away goals, but tie game on the night. 68th minute, goal was scored. 67. 1-1. 1-1. But Ronaldo Cisneros puts it through the keeper's legs, and that ball ends up in the net. Alajuelense ties it up on the night. Aggregate-wise, Xelajú still leads on away goals. Crichel Perez is off for Michel. Kenyel Michel. If only Alajuelense scored their penalties, it'd be 2-1 or 3-1. Advantage played. Blocked away. Oh, I saw. Playing forward. Headed away. It's out. Huh, that's interesting. 69th minute. So now Xelajú leads on away goals, and if this game ends up tied 1-1, they will lead on away goals going into next week. But '69th minute. Easton Cowan scored a goal. Good. The Toronto Raptors are tied for the longest active win streak in the NBA after the Pistons lost their 14-game streak. OKC Thunder has the same 9-win streak as the Raptors do. Okay, that's pretty good. And the Raptors are 2 games away from taking first in the East. Don't they play the Pistons soon? That could help. 1.5 games back. Okay. They have a game in hand. Yep. Or the Pace Raptors. Pistons have a game in hand. Ball crossed in. Excuse me. Goal kick, 70th minute. Can somebody be the man of the match after they take oh God. You mean UEFA Champions League? There's no way. CONCACAF Champions Cup, we're going to find out because they're in it next year. We're going to find out. We're going to find out how delusional you are. They're saying Sheila fans. They're saying Xelajú fans are delusional. Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, I read that right. But either way, we'll see how not delusional Xelajú fans are next spring, because guess what? They're in the Champions Cup. That's still delusional to think it's the UEFA Champions League, though. Even if they... Either way. I don't give a shit. Either way. Playing forward. 72 minutes. Xelajú lead on away goals. Of course, There's still a second leg in Guatemala at Cementos Progreso, which is not Xelaju's real ground, and turns out it's very far away from their real ground, so that might be a little bit positive towards Alajuelense. I didn't say it was everything, but it's something. Playing forward, 73rd minute. Well, playing forward. Ball crossed in, caught. 74th minute. Pretty even game, but Alajuelense definitely could have won it. Ball crossed in, headed away. Down for Alajuelense. I don't know if they could score here. I think there definitely could be a pullback. There is away goals. There is away goals. We talked about it yesterday. CONCACAF is confusing, I know, but there's away goals. How I think Xelajú got past one of their rounds. I mean, yeah, Ecuador's got a good team, but I feel like Canada would have beat them had they not went down in the 9th minute. Yeah. Unless I misread something or it was too different. I don't think the Caribbean Cup would have away goals, but the Central American Cup wouldn't. But then again, CONCACAF's rules change on a dime, so I don't know. But I do feel like Canada would have beat Ecuador if it wasn't for the red card in the 9th minute. If Ali Ahmed wasn't an idiot, I think we would have won that game. It's a wonder we kept it 0-0, though. I thought that was a really good performance. And Ecuador had their moments once I was able to watch. No. Unless I'm confused, he's a Liverpool fan? Or is there a different Hassan who roots for Liverpool? Or are we talking about the champagne socialist jackass? Which is there two different Hassans here? I don't know. At this point, I'm barely watching anybody else's sports content. Oh, it's the Liverpool. Okay, it's a different one. It's not the champagne socialist jackass. Okay. I don't give a shit. I've never watched his content anyway, even though I'm not really watching sports content now besides a couple of Steve Dangle videos because I'm trying to make my damn best of reels. Haven't had time to watch anybody's content, but I never watched his anyway. And when I only see clips of the champagne socialist jackass, just to be clear, it's when he does dumb shit like shocking his own dog. We're talking about the other one, not the Liverpool guy. Talking about the champagne socialist jackass. Well, good. He should. How could you? Yeah, Chelsea beat Barcelona. You better give him credit. Playing forward. Ball crossed in, that's out. Because Liverpool didn't make it, and then an English team won it. He was jealous Liverpool wasn't good enough to make it, but Chelsea was, as in Chelsea won a Champions League. And also, let's not forget Alejandro Braun coming on for Alajuelense. Let's not forget that guess who made a Champions League final during the qualification period? Oh, yeah, Liverpool. And they lost to Real Madrid. There were two English teams who made it through the Champions League, so even if Liverpool wanted to make it through the ranking, they could not. Yes, I did. I saw that clip, yeah. 79th minute. Cardenas is on for Baez. '80th minute. Alejandro Braun on for Celso Borges. '81st minute. Bolduc nearly got his second. Well, good for him. 81st minute. Zero. 83 minutes or 82 minutes, 1-1, 1-1. '83rd minute. Alajuelense at least tied the game. They could have easily won it because they could have scored one of their penalties, if not both. Still would have a away goal against, but being 3-1 instead of 1-1 would be totally better. Hell, even 2-1. Over the top. Brought down. And Hernandez is down. Feels like he got slapped in the back of the head, or at least that's what he's miming. Playing forward. Shot! Goal! No, he went wide. Okay, no, the ball went wide. I'm like, those freaking ad boards that are so close to the goal and Alajuela always screw me up. Hey, Google Gemini. Hey, Google Gemini, can you make this picture? I'm going to say Brasileirão, Liga MX, MLS, Argentinian League. I don't know where I'd put the CPL. I don't know if I'd put it above any of the other South American leagues or not, but I'd put it above all the Central American leagues. So it could be top 5, it could be top 7, I don't know. I think Argentina right now is under MLS. I really do. Header! Wide. But yeah, Brasileirão, Liga MX, MLS, Argentina. So top 3. But damn near tied with Liga MX. Damn near tied. That was, well, you're going to get him more because Don Garber's a dumb fuck. You're going to get him more because Don Garber is a puppet dumb fuck for Jorge Mas. You'll see more of them. You're welcome. Enjoy it. Thanks, that puppet dumb fuck. Oh, the Devils won in overtime. Well, good for them. '85th minute. I still feel like MLS is better. No. Jorge Mas is like, I don't know. Oh no, Ted Turner had nothing to do with WCW. Shit. Jorge Mas is like Eric Bischoff and Don Garber's like Vince Russo. Good save. It's out for a corner for Xelajú, 87th minute. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Jorge Mas is like Eric Bischoff and Don Garber's like Vince Russo. Yeah, that's better. That's better. There we go. And I'm like Jim Cornette. And I'm Jim Cornette. I'll call Don Garber out in his bullshit any day of the week and twice on Sunday. Now, would I piss on Don Garber's grave? I don't think I'd go that far. I don't think I would go that far, but it also works because I'm a loudmouth country boy who says whatever the hell he believes. I'm a loudmouth country boy who says whatever the hell he pleases. So, just like Jim Cornette, so that works. But I would not piss on Don Garber's grave. I don't think I would go that far. I don't hate him as much as Jim Cornette hates Vince Russo. I don't hate him that much. I don't think Don Garber deserves that. I understand why Jim Cornette wants to piss on Vince Russo's grave, but I don't. Don Garber's not a bad guy. He just doesn't know the sport. He does not understand the sport. He does not know how to grow the sport. And that's my problem with him. I don't hate the man. I hate the commissioner. There's a difference. I still have a humanity side to me when it comes to Garber. If people were like, well, I mean, I heard people were like he had cancer or something. I'm like, when? But if that's why he's leaving, I'm sad that that's the reason he's walking away. And I hope he lives a long time. But I hate him as a commissioner. I hate him business-wise. I don't hate him as a person. I think Jim Cornette hates Vince Russo both business and personally. I just hate Don Garber business-wise. I hate him for his business sense. I hate what he is as a commissioner. There's a difference. I think there's a difference is my point. You say pissing on somebody's grave for somebody you hate personally, which, To be honest, I think there are a couple, whatever. We'll leave that alone. But you say basically, personally, your actual personal enemies, that's who you should piss on the grave of if you get a chance. Just because you hate somebody as a businessman or a commissioner doesn't mean you should. They don't deserve that type of hate. But if you have a personal enemy who you hate because you hate their guts, there's a difference. There's a difference. If somebody stabs you in the back and fucks you over personally, that's different. That's different. And they're your enemy or your rival because personally and they stabbed you in the back and fucked you over, then if you outlive them, piss on their grave. But that's a different thing. Playing for it, Alajuelense, what a save. That's a different thing. But I'm sure we all have people like that. Some more than others. But my point being is this. Just because you hate how they do business does not mean you should hate them that much. There's a difference. There's business, there's professional hate, and there's personal hate. Or you could be like Jim Cornette and have both for somebody, but I don't. As far as I know. Shot. Nobody's there. Because Jim Cornette hates Vince Russo personally and businessly. Professionally. He hates them both. Which I understand why. But either way. Playing forward. Here comes Xelajú. But again, I'm making that clear. The only people you should piss on the grave on if you outlive them is your personal enemies. People who stabbed you in the back and fucked you over personally. And you hate them with the fire of 1,000 suns. Those are the people you piss on the grave on if you outlive them. There's a difference. We all have a shit list. We all have a list of those people who we would do that to. We all do. We all do. I won't judge yours. I won't judge yours. Oh. 93rd minute. 1-1. But again, to be clear, I hate Don Garber professionally. I hate what he is as a commissioner. I hate the commissioner and what he's done for the league and how much of a puppet he is. As a man, he seems like a good man. He seems like a good family man. He seems like a man who has a good family, who cares, and who's a very docile man. As a person, humanity, I have no qualms with him. Him as a commissioner, I hate him as a commissioner and how much of a puppet he is. That's what I hate. That's not enough for me to want to I'd have an argument with him. I'd curse him out. I'd tell him he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. But that's about the gist of it. That's about the brevity of it. I'd tell him, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. It'd be a heated debate, but I don't think it wouldn't go further than that. But either way, fair enough. Yeah. Except I'd never talk to Tony Khan. 1-1 full time. I know I'd never talk to Tony Khan. Unless he buys an MLS team, then I guess. Maybe. Hopefully not. 1-1. Uno. Full time. Esta noche. Could be worse. Could be better. Huh, interesting. With that being said, we'll take a short break at the half, or we'll review the game within the hour. I'll be back tomorrow for the MLS conference semifinal recap, conference final predictions. 1-1 at the end of the game. And Xelajú 1-1. Xelajú ties up and has the away goal, but we will see how the second half or the second leg goes next week. We'll be wearing the suit Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll get going. With that being said, we'll review the game within the hour. 1-1 draw. Fair scoreline, but maybe Alajuelense should have scored their goal. I don't know. One of the penalties, if not both. With that being said, we'll move on. If you like the stream, like it, share, subscribe. 3-1. 3-1. You're right, but it wasn't. So do with that what you will. With that being said, but at least they're not out of it. With that being said, there's still all to play for. They need a goal on the road, if not more. Well, 1-0 would win it for them. Yeah, it would. 1-1 would go to extra time. They need more than one goal on the road unless they get a clean sheet. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Since that's on the live streams, comment on this video. Put this in the playlist. Share it with the family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow. Well, within the hour, then I'll see you tomorrow for the MLS Cup prediction video, conference finals. Next live. The next live is Friday, 12 Central, 1 Eastern, Mississippi State, Ole Miss Egg Bowl, college football. So Friday, you get a college football live stream for Mississippi State, Ole Miss on Friday afternoon. And then Saturday, you have the Libertadores final, Miami NYCFC double. Then we'll be live. There's an hour in between the Miami game and the Vancouver game. We live for the Vancouver game and review the Vancouver game. So Friday. There's only a video tomorrow, a prediction video tomorrow. So Friday, midday, high noon. With that being said, I will see you within the hour, and then tomorrow I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you.